Good morning, Chevra. We're going to start. Today's the 13th of Iyar. We'll start with counting the Omer on page 138. Hayayim, together. Hayayim, Shmaina, Ve'esrim, Yoim, Shehem, Arba'a, Shavuos, LaOmer. Today is 28 days, which is 4 weeks of the Omer. Okay, we're on page 95. And the Chayenu is starting a new chapter of Tanya, chapter 47. And the overview goes as follows. Personal exodus from bondage. What does that mean? Bodily limitations. So from bondage to freedom of the souls connecting to Hashem happens when one accepts Hashem's sovereignty and willfully submits one's being during reciting the Shema. What does that mean? How do we do it? Okay, Perek Mem Zayin, chapter 47 will explain that in chapter 46, the Alter Rebbe explains another simple and straightforward means by which every Jew can arrive at a great love of Hashem, thereby enhancing his performance of Torah mitzvahs. Guys, imagine we go to the shore together, Howard, and we're standing in front of the shore and we see sailboats and it's a beautiful sky and you see the beach. Everything's just gorgeous, picture perfect, right? You got that in your mind? Now, let's say I put a thick blindfold on your eyes. Do you see anything? No. Is it there? Yes, it's right in front of you. You just don't see it. So the connection a Jew has with Hashem is tremendous and it's very real. The neshama connects with Hashem, but we just don't see it. Simple. So if you think the only way to reach that level of unity during the performance of the mitzvah is to learn that concept, think that concept, meditate and dwell on that concept in your mind, that Hashem is mamish right here and my soul's connecting to Hashem when I learn Torah and I do this mitzvah. And it brings a person to loving Hashem. What else do? We utilize the love which comes from we use the mashal of the king that thought about the vagabond, the homeless guy, the oisvarf. He went over to the dunghill and he took him into his palace and he hugged him and he took care of him. So the Alter Rebbe mentions how much Hashem loves for us is so much greater than even in the mashal, the way the king took care of this person. Now, chapter 47 is going to continue this theme and we'll answer the following question. How can the love reflected as water mirrors the face-to-face that we mentioned in the last parak be expected of us nowadays when Hashem's love was shown to the Jewish people thousands of years ago at the time of Exodus, at the time of Yetzias Mitzrayim? Those were the open miracles. Today, where do we see the open miracles? Okay, we could argue that we do see a lot of open miracles. It's just a question of if you choose to recognize them or not. Anyway, the answer is given by the Alter Rebbe as follows. Not only is it reasonable to expect this love of a Jew when he recalls the initial Exodus, when Hashem himself descended. And he didn't send a messenger, he didn't send an angel. Hashem himself took us out with a strong hand and an outstretched arm. But nevertheless, in truth, this presents itself today as well with an exodus that occurs daily. What's that exodus that we're talking about? V'hinei, b'chol dar v'dar, b'chol yoyim v'yoyim, chayav adam liros atzmai ki'iluhu yotza hayoyim mitzrayim. In every generation, and even, in fact, every day, a person is obligated to regard himself. And we talk about this at the Seder. It's a little different, as you'll see, what we're trying to get at here. But every year at the Seder, did I say every day? Every year at the Seder, we tell the children that if we weren't taken out of Mitzrayim then, we would still be their slaves today. You could think, no, something else may have happened. Maybe some other president or king would free us. How do you know? The whole world would be completely different. It wouldn't be, maybe there wouldn't be a United States of America. You know what I mean? So, but we're talking about something else. We're talking about the exodus from the Yitzias Nefesh Elikis Imasar Haguf Mashka Dechivya. We're talking about the release of the divine soul when a person does a mitzvah from the confinement of the body, the serpent skin. Okay, let's leave off the mitzvah for a second. Talking about the release of the neshama from the confinement of the body. The body is a source of confinement for the divine soul, since it derives its life force from the klipa. So we need the divine soul, we need the body in order to house the soul, but at the same time, it's also like a trap, a galus for the body, for the neshama. So in order to be absorbed into the unity of the light of Hashem by engaging in Torah and doing mitzvahs, so befrat v'kabolas malchus shemaim b'kriyas shema, shaba mikabel umamshech olav yichuda yisparech v'perush ba'amrei Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. So what do we do when we go out of this trap, this galus, this dungeon? We accept the sovereignty of Hashem during the reciting of Shema, wherein the person explicitly accepts and draws upon himself Hashem's unity when he says, Hashem, our God, is one. Why do we say Elokeinu? Why not my God? We say our God because it's the God of Avram, etc. Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Vishahaya, Batav, and Nichlal, B'yichud, and Yisef Baruch Hu. They became nullified and absorbed into the unity of the light of Hashem. So Avram's self-nullification and consequent union with Hashem was so complete that Hashem is called Elokei Avram. Through the performance of mitzvahs, the same could be said of every single Jew. It's our God. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. So we're included in that. Raksha Avram zachal hazeh b'ma'isa v'hilucha v'kodesh v'madrega l'madrega. Except that Avram obviously was a higher level. He married this union by reason of his works and his advancing in holiness from degree to degree until he uplifted himself to the great level of complete nullification to Hashem. Avram's journeyed there, going on and on to the south. So Avram progressed from level to level until he attained the esoteric level of the south, which alludes to the highest possible degree of love for Hashem. Avraham achieved this state as a result of his own labors. He wasn't forced to do any of it. But us, we, Yerusha me'amatana hilanu, the children of Avram, for us, it's a heritage and a gift. That Hashem gave us the Torah, and He clothed in it His will and wisdom. Which are united with His essence and being in perfect unity. We say Nasan Lanu es Torah, we could say Nasan Lanu es Atzma. Hashem gave us Himself. To which goes B'Zayir al Pasuk, the Zayir comments on the verse that they bring me an offering. The word me, says the Zayir, actually means to take Hashem. So the Zayir interprets the word Teruma, offering, as referring to the Torah, inasmuch as it is composed of the word Torah and the letter Mem, alluding to the Torah that was given to Moshe after 40 days on the mountain. And the numerical value of Mem is 40. So the Zayir goes on to explain that through Teruma, through Torah, see, if you just take the Mem out, it's Torah. Through Teruma, the Jews are enabling the ability to take Hashem Himself. It could have said me and an offering. Since me refers to Hashem, an offering refers to Torah, it would seem more appropriate for the pasuk to say, you shall take me and an offering. Torah. Since it's by the means of the Torah that a Jew takes me. In order, if you want to connect Hashem to the deepest way, you want to grab Hashem in this physical world, you hold the Torah. You take it. Except, really, the Kabbalah tells us and teaches us that Hashem and the Torah are one. God and the Torah are truly one. The pasuk says, me and an offering. We might be led to believe that the two are separate entities, when in truth, they're truly one and the same. Ayin Sham Heitev, study well there. The Zayar explains it very well. This is the meaning of the pasuk when we read, and you have given us Hashem, our God, with love. Vatiten lanu Hashem Elokeinu b'Ava. You have given us. What have you given us? You gave us yourself. When you give us the Torah, you give us yourself. When you give us yourself, you're giving us the Torah. Because of His great love, Hashem granted us the gift that He became Hashem, so that we could be united with Him. And it also states, "Kivyar panecha nasata lanu Hashem Elokeinu chulu." For the light of your countenance have you given us, Hashem, our God. Once again, stressing the gift He has given us, that He is our God. Elokeinu. Was that therefore, since this unity with Hashem and the gift we have received, that He is our God, is not dependent on our spiritual service. It's within the province of every Jew. Nothing stands in the way of the soul's unity with Hashem and His light except one's will. She'im ein aha adam reitza klal chas v'shalom l'davka bay. The only way a person wouldn't connect to Hashem is if the person does not desire at all to cleave to Hashem, and you wouldn't be able to achieve this unity. So if a person rejects the unity, then it's harder to connect. Hashem echad, harememele, ichleles nafshi b'chodi yisbarach deruach, aisi ruach v'amshich ruach. Immediately when he does so desire, and he accepts and draws upon himself his Hashem's blessed godliness and declares Hashem is our God, Hashem is one, then truly his neshama immediately, spontaneously absorbs into Hashem's unity. But the individual's yearning, spirit evokes spirit, like we were saying before, the mind upon him on the reflection. Spirit evokes spirit and awakens from the above and draws forth and bestows spirit, an added measure of spirituality, so that the person is drawn to Hashem and cleaves to Hashem. Tshuva. And then this goes back full circle. Why do we say that Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim? Why is that so important? Because this happens every single day with when a person cleaves to Hashem. So meanwhile, you're in Galus, you're in the serpent's skin. The minute you want to reach out to Hashem, how do we do that? Through learning Torah. Through holding on to the Torah. It means doing a mitzvah, doing what the Torah is teaching us. Suddenly, we have a form of Yitzis Mitzrayim. What's this Yitzis Mitzrayim? It's the spiritual counterpart of Yitzis Mitzrayim from 3,000 plus years ago. So it's the spiritual counterpart of the Yitzia, of the Exodus, which is the acceptance of the kingdom of heaven. So we have Kabbalah's El Malchus Shemayim during Shema. When we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu, and one's desire to cleave to Hashem and be united with Hashem. For by these means, the soul frees itself from Galus and confines of the body and becomes one with Hashem. And therefore, it was ordained that the paragraph concerning Yitzias Mitzrayim is read specifically during the reciting of the Shema. Even though really recalling and verbalizing Yitzias Mitzrayim is a mitzvah for itself, and it's not part of the commandment of reciting Shema. Doesn't seem connected. Kedisa Gemara Paiskim has stated in the codes, in the Talmud and the codes, recalling the Yitzias Mitzrayim and the formal recitation of Shema were placed together. Why? Because really they're the same thing. Accepting the kingdom of heaven during Shema and the Yitzia from the going out of Egypt are truly one and the same, since this acceptance is one's personal spiritual exodus. It's very much the same because it's happening now. I'm going out of my personal exodus. The neshama escapes from the confines of the Mitzrayim of the body and connects to Hashem, is able to go out into the wilderness, so to speak, and to receive the Torah and connect to Hashem. Just like we say in Shema, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, at the end of the paragraph referring to Mitzrayim. Going out of Mitzrayim, it says, Ani Hashem Elokeichem. I am your God. This accords with what we've explained earlier, that through the Yitzhak, through going out of Mitzrayim, one ensures that Hashem becomes his God, Elikeinu, my God. Just like it's the God of Avram, it's my God also. Hashem, by achieving total unification with him. So Yitzias Mitzrayim, the story of Egypt, is not a thing of the past. And neither is going out of Egypt. Your neshama is currently in a Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim means confines, under the bondage of your body and your animal soul, your personal selfishness, desires, anything that blinds you from seeing Hashem. You let your soul go free by revealing Hashem Echad, as one is through studying Torah and observing mitzvahs, especially during this reciting of the Shema. That's it for today. Wow, we did a whole parak in one day. Beautiful.